are here at Hollywood Smoke in the city of Santa Monica. Welcome to another episode of The 10 Count. I'm Steve Kim, joined by Michael Baca of UCN Live and the sports god, Dave Smith. It was a big weekend of heavyweight action, gentlemen. From New Zealand for the vacant WBO heavyweight title, it is Joseph Parker picking up the belt with a close 12-round decision over Andy Ruiz. And then from jolly old England, IBF heavyweight titles, Anthony Joshua makes his second successful title defense, dropping Eric Molina in 3 rounds. Big news out of this one, guys. April 29th, when Wladimir Klitschko will square off against him in Wembley Stadium. Dave, if Anthony Joshua were a stock, would you buy him?
Oh, absolutely. That's a stock on the rise right now. I love Anthony Joshua. I think there's a little buzz in the heavyweight division right now that we haven't had in a long time. Joshua and Klitschko coming up April 29th is a good fight. Maybe Deontay Wilder gets the winner, the American. There's always Tyson Fury with his circus act, maybe coming back if he gets it together. But I love Joshua. I love the fact that he keeps his arms in, he punches tight, he punches straight, and I think he's going to beat Klitschko come April 29th. I think Joshua's the best heavyweight in the world.
Mike, one thing that concerns me about Klitschko, certainly very distinguished, very, very accomplished, but I get the sense, and again, this was shown out last year, maybe the Fury fight was about style, personalities, maybe just had an off night. Older guy, hasn't fought in over a year, going up against this young, hungry, hard-hitting, physical specimen, and just looking at them side to side inside the ring.
Joshua's the bigger guy?
A much bigger guy.
Yeah, and it's always been Klitschko being the bigger guy,
yeah,
which is the crazy part. I definitely like Joshua in this fight. I don't think Klitschko really is a big puzzle to solve for him. I think it's going to be brute strength and power that just crumbles Klitschko. I think Joshua knocks him out, to be honest.
Dave, you're a heavyweight connoisseur. You go all the way back to Jack Johnson. I want to ask you this question. Anthony Joshua is the best young heavyweight since?
Well, that's a good question. I would say he's the best young heavyweight since Lennox Lewis, probably, you think. Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, that era?
Yeah. I get the sense that he's not going to be Michael Grant. I think he's a little bit better than Michael Grant. But again, we don't know about the chin. I think Dillian White buzzed him for a quick second. That's what we don't know. So have to keep this in mind. He doesn't have 20 fights yet. I think much like other champions like an Oscar Valdez at featherweight, Mike, isn't it fair to say he's a highly touted prospect that just happens to have a belt?
Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest about it.
I said that when he first won the title on this show, that he's basically just a prospect with the belt. Don't call him a champion. He's none of that. He happens to have the IBF title. And there's still evidence of that with an opponent like Eric Molina getting sparked out there, and, unfortunately, it's a pay-per-view. Don't you think it's kind of funny that they already have the poster made for Joshua Klitschko right before that Molina fight?
Yeah, well, I was told leading into this fight with Molina that deal was basically done. Now, the other question, and again, this is for the experts and the people who make the big salaries, as of now, as we're taping this on the Monday after the Molina fight, there is no real stateside television deal, so we don't know if it's Showtime, which has an exclusive agreement with Joshua that will televise the bout, or HBO, which has been in the Klitschko K2 business for years. Dave, if Klitschko turns back the clock and pulls what I think most people believe would be an upset, what does that do for his heavyweight legacy? Because there's always been like a but with Klitschko. He's been knocked out, a weak era of heavyweight boxing, but if he beats this kid now, how much does that raise his historical profile?
It raises it a lot with me because I love Joshua. Joshua has a lot of power, and if he can get hit on the chin and withstand it, because Klitschko, for once, is going to get hit on the chin and get hit hard in this fight. And I still think, and you said, Steve, in his 40s now, he all of a sudden doesn't have a granite chin. He's always had kind of a glass jaw. He just hasn't been hit hard in 10 years because of the level of opposition. But if he wins this fight, takes a shot on the chin and absorbs it and knocks Joshua out or wins, absolutely. It raises him big time in my eyes.
Michael, quick thoughts. Parker Ruiz, I thought was very close. I think very simply, I thought Ruiz made an argument to win, except it's in New Zealand. I think a fight of that nature, he was not getting his hand raised in victory.
I completely agree. I loved his energy in the first 3 to 4 rounds of this fight. Always busy, always moving, deceptively quick.
Yeah.
Given his
figure. Guys of that figure are always going to be deceptively quick.
Always,
they're not going to be just
always
quick. Has to be deceptively quick.
Yeah, but in the middle rounds, he
sagged,
stopped punching.
Yeah.
I think that's how we lost this fight.
I still get the sense He needs to spend more time in Big Bear and have longer camps. Listen.
It was his first camp there, right?
Well, second time there, but first full training camp. Listen, he's never going to be on the, as I like to say, on the cover of Muscle and Fitness or Flex magazine. He's not built that way. It's my opinion, probably needs to lose another 10 to 12 pounds. And real quickly, Mike, Dillian Whyte in a war against Derek Chisora. I think this is the best heavyweight 12-round fight I've seen since Lyakovich-Brewster. What a war.
It was very fun watching that fight. And it was kind of a shame Showtime didn't get to show it for the U.S. fans. But other than that, they went at it, a little bit of hatred in there between the two fighters, which I think you saw in the ring that night in Manchester. I thought the decision was fair. It was a slobber knocker. It's one of those fights you just have to watch it. You can't really explain it. It was just a slugfest. Put simply.
And I think that it screams to have a rematch if both guys can stand it. But this was a physical, brutal war. All right. Well, on behalf of Dave Smith and Mike Baca, this is Steve Kim saying, till the next 10 count. Goodbye, everybody.